Doctor, we've got to help him. He's crying. Those aren't tears, Clara. That's soup. Pea soup? No. Brain soup. His brain's being mushed and turned into soup, and it's coming out a little bit. He won't be anything after this. Just a lifeless husk. Your next of kin will be informed and incarcerated to further defer criminals in this bank and to further defer criminal action by those who wish to be dishonest. Well, that's just not fair. The next of kin didn't do anything. Maybe they're involved in this scheme, but as far as we're aware, they might be completely innocent. Incarcerating them without evidence of guilt is wrong. I don't care. This is my bank. Well, it's not my bank. I'm the security person here, so yeah. How dare you? I am the Doctor. I am a champion of justice. And you, madam. What you're doing, it's just. Even this, I don't understand. It's part of your security measures, but it has to be this horrible. It's all of this. It's all. What's the word? How do I describe this injustice? It's
disgraceful, said Gordon. Disgusting, put in James. Despicable, added Henry.
Exactly. Thank you, guys. By the way, where's my engine? Where's the number 12?
I'm here. Unfortunately, I won't get my number until 2020, and at the time of this episode coming out, it's 2014. Also, I don't think the toys will be including the number 12 on me until 2021, at earliest.
Ah, I see. Right. Fair enough. I'll pop back in a few years' time.
Anyway, guys, I've got to be off. I've got to pull the Orient Express.
Yes. Nothing bad ever happens on any of the Orient Expresses.
Bye-bye. Bye. So now what do we do? Let's go on a time heist. Okay. Yeah, I'm up for that. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here and welcome to my review of Doctor Who Series 8, Episode 5, Time Heist. Okay, let's get on with this review because I've had so many false starts starting this review. So, Time Heist. This episode is co-written by Steve Thompson, who wrote The Curse of the Black Spot in Series 6 and Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS in Series 7, and he's co-writing it with Stephen Moffat. Now, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS was one of my least favourite episodes of Series 7. It was the second worst, in my opinion, and that's including the 2013 specials, if you wanted that. Still, if not, on the ranking, it was 14th out of 15th, and if you included the two specials, it would be 16th out of 17. Only episode that was worse than that was Asylum of the Daleks. But Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS was absolutely terrible. I was supposed to say The Curse of the Black Spot first and then get to Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS, but it ended up being Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS first, and instead of correcting an error, I decided just to roll with it. Curse of the Black Spot, that was just a bit of a bland episode. It was alright. Had some good moments, but it was ultimately bland. One of the weaker ones from Series 6. It was out of 12 places, I think. Yeah, it would be 10th, I believe. So Steve Thompson, this would be his third script, and he's on his third strike for Doctor Who. Because if this was another bad episode, we'd be like, right, that's it, he's not coming back. He never wrote for the show again yet. He hasn't come back yet. So this is his final script, co-written with Stephen Moffat. Whether or not he was not invited to come back, or maybe after 3 scripts nobody wanted him to come back, 3 episode scripts, I'm not quite sure. But has he redeemed himself from the past 2 scripts with the 3rd script? Short answer, yes, although I'm not sure how much of that is down to Stephen Moffat. And how much of it is down to Steve Thompson. Long answer, well, that's what this review's all about. So the plot of Time Heist is the Doctor and Clara to partake in a bank robbery with 2 others, a augmented human, which is a cyborg or a human with cybernetic parts included into them, and a shape-shifting humanoid alien who can morph and change into whoever they touch. They have been recruited by this man known as the Architect to rob the Bank of Karablaxos, which is a big bank for many people who own shares in star systems, or own star systems. Basically, the richest people in the universe, shall we say. They put all their money and valuables in the Bank of Karablaxos, which is run by a certain Karablaxos, with their security systems run by Miss Delphox, a very hard-on security head of security woman. One method of their security is the Teller, which is an alien that can sense guilt and guilty intentions that Miss Delphox uses to detect guilt in people with criminal intentions. And we see a demonstration of this where they locate a man attempting to smuggle counterfeit money into the bank, and they turn his brain into soup after detecting the guilt. The Doctor and company then make their ways into the vault, but they have to not only try and avoid the guards, but also the Teller and locate the things they're after. So that's basically the plot of Time Heist. However, this seems to all be, it's not just any old bank robbery. This all seems to be planned by someone in the future, so to speak, or that's what they theorize anyway. So it is a time heist. Because the people in the future would know about the solar flare, I believe, solar flare activity that comes around later, which damages the Karabaxos Bank's security systems temporarily, and indeed later on it starts to damage the bank altogether. So that's basically the plot, and I'll get around to what's revealed later on. So yeah, this is a really fun and interesting story. It's great that we have a few more different genres taking place in this Doctor Who. This is a example of them trying out another genre. In this case, a heist episode, a heist style episode, but with a time travel sci-fi twist, which is really great. This is a really interesting story that we're going down. The characters, well, the Doctor is. This is probably the 12th Doctor's best episode as a character, as well as also so far the best episode in the series so far. I'm enjoying the 12th Doctor quite a bit, even if he's a bit abrasive and a bit rude sometimes and a bit tough. He's basically a toned down version of the 6th Doctor, and to be honest, I kind of like that. I like the tougher Doctors as much as I like the fun, light-hearted, let's have a laugh Doctors. It's nice to have that balance in terms, and I think 12's going to find out in Series 10. He's going to lose it in Series 9, but in the meantime, Series 8, we've got the former, we've got the tougher side Doctor before getting the more let's have a laugh Doctor next series, and then kind of balance in the last series. But I really liked the Doctor in the story. He was great, and Peter Capaldi was amazing as usual. Clara, actually really, really great in this series. She's getting even better throughout this series. I'm not sure what it is, but Series 8 just boosts her a little bit up from what she was in Series 7 Part 2. She's just a lot more interesting, a lot more engaging in this series than she was last series. Jenna Coleman also does a great job in the role, and the dynamic between the two are really great. I especially love the bit where Clara's asking the Doctor, what does he think? Does she look good for her date with Danny Pink that she's having tonight? And the Doctor's like, Yeah, I'm looking at you. She's asking him to look at her, and he's responding with, "Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you." Not really understanding the question. Or noticing much of a difference, or both. But I find the dynamic between the Doctor and Clara is really good in this series, so far at least. Supporting character Sai, the augmented human cyborg, he's a pretty interesting character. He's someone who he's a bank robber slash hacker, but he had to delete his memories so that he wouldn't risk his friends or family's lives. Um, so he's kind of regretting that, wiping out his memories, and he's here to help with the cybernetics computer side of the operation. There's also this really great bit where he gets the teller to go away from Clara by having himself claiming to be all the greatest criminals in the universe, all in one place, and we get pictures of notable Doctor Who monsters and villains who have been criminals in the past. Off the top of my head, I can remember the Slitheen, the Terraplits, the Trickster, um, the Star Creature from earlier in Series 8. I'm not quite sure. There's a few more, and also for those really keeping an eye out, the Aslam Dark from the Doctor Who magazine comic strips, where he would become a Dalek killer. So there's got some interesting Easter eggs around there. There's a few more of them. I just remember off the top of my head the Slitheen, the Trickster, the Pteroleptil, and Aslam Dark. Who is actually, this is his only inclusion in a actual episode. This is Aslam Dark's one and only appearance in an episode of the show, and it's his picture from one of the comic strips, or comic strip character bios, maybe. So that's pretty interesting. Now we're just waiting on Frobisher, the big talking bird penguin. Shapeshifting penguin. Hey, he could have been in this episode. But instead, we've got another shapeshifter who, yeah, she's pretty interesting. I can't quite remember her name, but she wants to be normal. She's a mutated human who's able to shapeshift, and she wants to be normal, and that's what they get in as their rewards at the end. Sai gets something to restore his memories, and I can't remember her name, but the shapeshifter is able to has a cure for her mutation and is able to become normal. Now, the villain Miss Delphox is a pretty good villain. I mean, she's not amazing, but she's a pretty good villain. She's serviceable for this episode. Keely Horse has a great performance in the role. Healy Hort also plays Madame Cara Blacksauce, and it turns out Miss Delphox is one of her many clones who she has working for her. However, she hates her own clones. Yet, it's more useful for your own clones to be working in different departments of your bank. I don't know whether it's Miss Cara Blacksauce hating herself, and that's represented by the presence of her hating the clones or not, but I'm not quite sure. If she doesn't like her clones, what's the point? I know she wants herself running all the apartments so she has clones, but yeah, if she does, but why do it? But if you don't like them, why? Anyway, so Madame Cara Blacksauce isn't the most engaging villain. She's only on screen a few times. She's mainly there for a twist. Miss Delphox was a bit more of a better villain. But Keely Horse does a good job in the role. It turns out that the Doctor and Clara have come for another teller who is locked in another part of the vault, and the teller that has been used for the security has been forced to do what it's been told in order to protect its love, a female teller trapped in a vault. The Doctor also uses the teller to unblock the forgetful memory bits that he experienced earlier on, and it's revealed that Miss Madam Cara Blacksauce from the future dying and having regrets. By the way, that's a nice tie to the last lines the Doctor told her at the before she left. Now the older version is dying, saying she has regrets, and asks the Doctor to help her. And she got the phone number from the Doctor who gave it to her, because he's kind of figuring it out. He's figuring out that she calls him and then tells her that she'll be old and full of regrets, which is when she will call him and ask him to get the female teller out, rescue her. So that's what they do. They rescue the female teller and they transport her and the male teller and themselves off the bank onto the spaceship into orbit, which Cyan, the mutant lady, teleported to earlier on in the episode and then came back when they were close to being captured by the teller, but then came back to save the Doctor and Clara after they had been captured by Miss Delphox. And then at the end, they take the two tellers to a new home to be in peace and solitude from everyone else, and then they have a little bit of a tea before saying goodbye. And now that's Time Heist. It was a fun, engaging, and enjoyable episode. Is it perfect? No. Some of the editing in it is a bit odd in some places. I guess it's trying to look like it's going to be a heist story, so it feels like it's got to have a few odd cuts now and again, some transitions. I do think Miss Delphox as a villain could have been a bit better, and even more so Madame Cara Blacksauce. Other than that, it's a pretty solid episode. I don't know if it's not perfect, but it's definitely solid. It's a very fun, engaging, and enjoyable story, and has a lot of great stuff going for it. The cast is great. Story's really well written. Again, I'm not sure what's down to Stephen Moffat and what's down to Steve Thompson. Most of it, I would say, is probably Thompson because he gets first billing in the story, but Moffat's definitely got some involvement, and not just in the Danny Pink stuff. Otherwise, he wouldn't be credited. Because Danny Pink pops up in episodes that Moffat is not credited as a co-writer on. The next 4 episodes, to be precise. So I can't really say that it's just writing the Danny Pink stuff in this episode. So he must have had some sort of involvement as well. Maybe he noticed Thompson wasn't really delivering with the Doctor Who scripts, or maybe they just had a good time working with each other and Mark Gatiss on Sherlock. They wrote the second episode of Series 3 together, and also they probably also worked together on how the structure of Series 1, 2, and 3 would have worked out. Especially as Steve Thompson wrote the finale to Series 2. So they probably all liked working with each other, so I guess Moffat decided to work with Thompson on this episode, and whether that helped or not, I'm not sure, or maybe Thompson would have delivered a good script anyway. Either way, Time Heist is easily his best of the 3, at least the best of the 3 he's contributed to. This is easily the best of the 3, and it is a bit of a shame he wouldn't come back to do any more, because he redeemed himself with this episode. I mean, the last 2 weren't very good, especially Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. I didn't like that, but this one was very good, so I would have liked to see what a 4th one would have been like, to see whether he was now doing good stories, or would have gone back to doing a weaker one. It's the same situation we currently have with Ed Heim. He's written an episode I'm not so keen on, and an episode I thought was really not very good, but had some okay moments. So I wouldn't say it's one of the worst of all time, but it was still not that great. Maybe even on re-evaluations they'll probably go down, although the former one might go up. Possibly. And he's confirmed to be writing for Series 13, so Ed Heim, I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm prepared to see what you've got coming for Series 13. But if this is another one I can't get into, if it's another one I don't really like, then I don't want you writing for Series 14 or 15 or beyond. Series 13 be your last. However, if you can redeem yourself with the Series 13 script like Steve Thompson did here, then I'd be fine for seeing you come back for further seasons. That depends if they do come back for further seasons. Again, like Thompson, they might not return after their third episode. Anyway, so Time Heist is a really fun and engaging episode. It has some really great moments. Also, the sets are pretty interesting and the visuals are pretty cool. And yeah, it's a pretty good episode. It's a really enjoyable one. It's so far the strongest episode of Series 8 out of the first 5. And yeah, really enjoyable. And the monster design and the teller, it's a great concept and a great design. So overall, I will be giving Time Heist a 9 out of 10. a fun, enjoyable, and engaging episode, as I've already mentioned. And yeah, I think it's a good one. Enjoyable and entertaining and fun and just plain good. Not perfect, but good. It's good, very good. So yeah, if you're wondering why I was doing the Scottish accent, I'm not sure. I think the 12th Doctor said good a few times, or at least it's trying to sound like Missy in Series 9's opener. No, I have not turned good. But that's something for next series. Don't worry. For now, but yeah, it's a terrible impression anyway. Thank you for watching this review. I'll see you guys next time for the 6th episode of Doctor Who Series 8, The Caretaker. And this is the episode where the Doctor meets Danny Pink. And it's also probably the first episode to completely be taking place on present-day Earth since the Bells of St. John, I think. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the Nicholas Payne YouTube channel.